Last week was our first playoff game, and my plaque psoriasis was so itchy under all my gear. Sometimes just thinking about scratching could take me out of the moment. And then my doctor told me I could get clearer skin with a pill called Otezla.
Otezla apremilast is a prescription medicine used to treat adult patients with plaque psoriasis for whom phototherapy or systemic therapy is appropriate. Otezla can help you get clearer skin after just 4 months.
Okay, ready for the next game. Talking to my doctor about a pill was a total game changer.
Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts. Live in the moment. Ask your doctor about Otezla. Call 1-844-4-OTEZLA or visit Otezla.com for prescribing info about cost, and more.
You know, Vegas isn't all showy steakhouses. We are a well-rounded food city, and one of our specialties is incredible vegan food. Today on CityCast Las Vegas, I'm with cookbook author Jackie Soban, Vegan Yak Attack on Instagram. She's going to tell us how we can all become Las Vegans. Get it? Even if for just one delicious meal. It's Thursday, April 3rd. I'm Sarah Lohman, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. Jackie, friend, not just friend of the pod, but friend of Sarah Lohman. Jackie Soban, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Okay, so how does our vegan food scene compare to other cities?
I think that Las Vegas's vegan food scene is actually pretty exceptional, especially if you want to talk about like percentage of restaurants generally and those that have vegan options, and then also like the very solid vegan only restaurants that are in the community.
It seems like really plentiful considering the fact that we're a mid-sized city and we're not LA, right? Like,
right.
We don't have this super, super health food culture, but like it's strong here.
Yeah, and I feel like what Las Vegas has going for it more so than LA is that it's actually easy to get around. And then once you're on the Strip, like almost every casino has a pretty solid vegan option.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your favorite 100% vegan restaurants in the city?
I would like to start by saying that I had to cut this list down. And so I don't want anybody coming for me.
But that's amazing. And you
Yes.
know what? Maybe we'll get to do a roundup in our newsletter as well. But it's exciting that there are so many options in Las Vegas that you had to cut your list down.
Yeah, I just don't want anybody being like, I can't believe you didn't mention.
They will. Don't worry.
Yes.
But I don't monitor
Can't
the
please
inbox.
everyone.
So
Yes,
it won't come to us. That's Rob Katchelreese's newsletter editor problem. Sorry, Rob.
Not my problem.
Not my problem.
No, so my top one is for all vegan is Down to Earth plant-based cuisine. They specialize in comfort food. So they have like pizza and then some Southern inspired like sandwiches.
Where's Down to Earth?
So it's actually at Town Square.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of in an odd
There's so much
spot
happening over
because
there.
yeah, it's across from AMC Theater, but it's on the second floor where the Capriati's used to be.
Okay. Do you have a favorite dish there?
My favorite dish is
What's your
probably
go-to?
their club salad because I get it with just light red onion. It is so good. I told Nicole, who's one of the owners, that I aim to order it as many times as needed to have it named after me. So every time I go in there, I get that, and I'll get like the truffle mac and cheese, which is nut free. And then if someone else is there, I'll also get like the vegan pepperoni pizza because their pizzas are so good.
Let's do another. What's another one of your favorite 100% vegan spots?
So Tacotarian, which is a total
classic.
staple in Las Vegas. Like, I mean, they're so consistent, which is just hard sometimes for restaurants. So they're so consistent. I feel comfortable suggesting them to literally anyone, vegan or not, because, you know, they do really solid vegan Mexican food.
The
And they
nachos
have
The guac, delicious.
Oh, the nachos are really good.
Little corn guy, I can't think of what it's called now, with the
elote, but they do the esquites, like the shaved one. It's so good with the Takis on it.
With the Takis on it. It burns, but it burns so good.
So good. I get that almost every time I'm there. Their margaritas are actually shockingly great for as like fast casual as they are.
Really? I'm usually wine drunk by the time I show up there, honestly. You get across the street at Garagista and I just...
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. But I will remember that for next time, the margs.
Yes.
All right, hit me with one more. One more of your 100% vegan faves.
Oh, no. I have to cut out more. Okay. For a little variety, I'll just go with Chef Kenny's because they are...
What is the deal with Chef Kenny? That was actually a whole question I had. I've never been to his place, but it is like he's the vegan celebrity in Las Vegas. Give me the whole story.
Well, he thinks that he's the vegan celebrity in Las Vegas.
Fair enough. But also everyone is like, oh my God, have you been to Chef Kenny's yet? So
yeah, so Chef Kenny's is kind of like your quintessential Asian cuisine spot. And I say Asian because it's not a specialty spot. It has, some Chinese, like Cantonese inspired. There's some dim sum. And then there's like some Thai stuff kind of thrown in there. They got a couple curries. So it has that, it's like that ambiguously Asian cuisine, but they do it really well. I mean, I ordered it for my parents and I when they were in town a couple years ago. And my dad asked me why I was eating the orange chicken. And I said, because it's not meat, it's vegan. And he said, what? He was so confused because he genuinely thought he was eating real orange chicken and that I was also eating the real orange chicken. So yeah, that again, another really consistent spot, open a little bit later than some of the other spots, although Down to Earth is open till midnight on the weekends, which is awesome. I have either one or two more that I want to fit into the all vegan spot.
Shout them out. Yeah, what do you got?
Other ones that are also really great that are regularly in my rotation are No Butcher, which is the vegan deli and sandwich place. Super consistent, even with the switch in ownership recently. Really consistent, really good, very quick. Love them. And then Daikon, which is vegan sushi, but I actually like their entrees a little bit more than I like their sushi. Their sushi is good, but it's like lunch sushi. They have a curry ramen there that is my favorite soup in Las Vegas. And they just opened another location in kind of Henderson. It's like Windmill and the 215. And it's called Basil Thai Vegan, and just a slightly different menu, but mostly the same. Again, very consistent, very good. So those five are definitely like my regular rotation of vegan restaurants.
All right, so what about high-end restaurants? Because I had a pretty spectacular high-end vegan tasting menu at the place in Resorts World. I'm sure you know which one I'm talking about.
Crossroads,
baby. I didn't do the vegan brunch, though I hear that that's amazing. I did the tasting menu for my birthday, not this past year, but the one before. It was one of the best dining experiences I've had in my life, I have to say. And the cocktails were great, too.
Crossroads is great. I love having a full vegan option on the Strip. I also, like I said, lived in California, so I went to the original Crossroads in LA like pretty often. But it's so nice to have it on the Strip. I will say something that I really love about Las Vegas is that because there are so many visitors here, it seems like casinos and like the higher end Strip properties do put a focus on making sure that there is a vegan option at almost any restaurant that you're going to. That's not going to be every restaurant, but there are a lot. And a lot of them are well done. Even living in Orange County, it felt like there was this disparity between vegan restaurants specifically and then non-vegan, and there was less in the middle. And when I moved here, I was like, this is heaven, because you really can go out to eat anywhere for the most part, and everyone is going to be taken care of no matter like the dietary preference.
You know, I've noticed the same thing about drinking culture here, which it's people on the outside would think that's very un-Vegas. But in most places, especially downtown and on the Strip, there is always a non-alcoholic beer. There's always NA cocktails. Like, it's great to be able to go out and everybody feels included.
Yeah, no, I do love that about here. It's because they're so customer service based, like experience based. It seems like, you know, mostly anywhere you go, people are really trying. Whereas maybe in LA, when you go places, it's like, do you want me here? I don't I don't understand. Is this a business?
Yeah, I was on a writing retreat in Long Beach. I went into a coffee shop. He showed me the options, and I was like, you know what? I'm actually in the mood for a little bit of bacon today, so I'd like the blah 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 sandwich. And he was like, oh yeah, I forgot not everyone's vegan. So it's like went the other extreme.
I love Long Beach.
It was so funny. And yet the sandwich was great. And I'm sure the vegan options would have been great too. I just want a little bacon sometimes. I can't help it. I'm a bad girl.
I mean, I can't say that I feel the same, but I get it, I guess.
There's no pressure. There's no pressure. Yeah. It is my one shortcoming, I think, as a human being. So what about some other high-end options? Like I love a fancy dining experience.
So at Wynn Encore, any of their restaurants will have vegan options, even like in the shops where Earth Cafe is, because they have a couple of vegan options. But the Wynn property restaurant specifically will have several vegan options. And there's two favorite places, one in each for me. Terrace Point Cafe for brunch. Love it. They are so efficient, but you still get this really nice kind of luxury experience. And then also Casa Playa in Encore, which I do work with them for photo shoots occasionally. And that's part of why, even seeing what Chef Sarah had made, I was like, wait, I need to come back in. And so I came back in and paid for dinner and was blown away by the thought that was put into these dishes there. And the serving size actually was much bigger than I was expecting. But yeah, Casa Playa, their drinks, the food, so, so good.
If you think you know everything there is to know about Las Vegas, well, think again. Duck Duck Shed is a 3-day festival where the city's true story comes to life. From April 24th through the 27th, the Neon Museum brings you exclusive tours, expert-led panels, and engaging conversations with the architects, designers, and storytellers who built and are still building Las Vegas into the entertainment capital of the world. Duck Duck Shed, it's a phrase from the seminal architecture book Learning from Las Vegas. I'm excited to have been invited to give a talk at the fest about how we do and don't continue to learn lessons about our city's unique design. So, whether you're an industry professional or just love this city, Duck Duck Shed offers a deeper look into our growth, culture, and history. Tickets are on sale now at duckduckshed.com. Register today and be part of this one-of-a-kind celebration of Las Vegas. Don't miss out.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Okay, so we also have, luckily, lots of spots of places that are vegetarian or even omnivorous, but like have really great vegan items on their menus too. What are some of your favorites?
So I have one line that's 3 restaurants for pizza because Las Vegas has a lot of really great pizza.
And so many styles.
I know. And that's why I very quickly, for my favorite vegan pizzas in town, Evil Pie, even though it is like novelty and Fremont based, so the prices are a little crazy.
They're my favorite pizza place.
Literally the best crust, best sauce. Like
seriously. So closest to New York Slice. And when you're in that part of town and you don't want a sit-down meal, but man, you're hungry for like good food, not just tourist food, Evil Pie is the go-to.
Yeah, and they have PBR on tap, which I love. And like it's just so good.
And a bird too that's really cheap and delicious.
Yes, yeah, the Evil Lager.
Yeah,
I want to say it's in Lager. And they're open way late on the weekends, which has been a lifesaver a couple of times for me. And then Good Pie, I love them for their vegan Detroit style pizza. Because I do love Detroit style pizza, but not everyone does it equally. And I do think that Good Pie really nails the Detroit style pizza there.
Crust is key.
And then Yukon pizza. Those 3 are my pizza staples. I mean, Yukon has that sourdough dough that they use for their pizza base. And they have a really amazing kale Caesar that they do vegan as well with a little chili oil in it. And then their homemade like focaccia croutons. It's so good. I just put down the kale Caesar salad like every time I get the pizza, but their pizzas are also really great too.
Oh my God, Jackie, let's go on a salad crawl.
Oh, I'm down.
I would love it. These actually sound really good. And UConn, of course, is in the Huntridge Shopping Plaza.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I have to say, one of the spots that we usually meet up at is Coffee Class, who has a couple locations this side of town, and they do like have sandwiches with bacon, and they've got full vegan sandwiches.
Vegan biscuits and gravy.
Plates. Yes, that's what sent me there in the first place. Because, oh my God, I think it was Scott Dickensheets, our former newsletter editor, that was like, these vegan biscuits and gravy are one of the most delicious things. And he's like an old school guy, you know? He's the one that recommended it to me. And they're really nice people. And the pastry, Jackie.
The pastry is really good too. But yeah, those biscuits and gravy. My mom grew up in Tennessee. Well, her family's from Tennessee. So she would make us biscuits and gravy. And I had biscuits and gravy from a newer spot in town, and the vegan version was not it. So I was just very glad that we still have Coffee Class for those specifically. But yes, their pastry's so good. Their coffee drink's pretty good. But yeah, I go there for the food, honestly. And then the coffee just is nice to have.
Yeah, it's decent coffee. It's excellent food, no matter how you're eating.
Yes.
So speaking of Coffee Class, one of their locations is called Almond and Oat, based on the milks that they serve. That's out on St. Rose Parkway, and they were vegetarian. Now they're going totally vegan. So I actually don't eat a lot of meat analogs. I like tofu. I like, kind of classic soy-based products. But I feel like soy and soy milk has been getting a bad rap. Like, do you know any reason why?
Largely misinformation on the internet can be attributed to that.
Jackie. Let's clear the air right now.
Yes. So I feel like because the general public does not necessarily have a super in-depth knowledge on food, where it comes from, what it's made up of, that's kind of why we have, this influx of thousands of grifters on social media without actual formal education, saying this is bad for you, this is bad for you, eat this instead, eat this supplement instead, things that are unregulated and that kind of thing. But yeah, people basically latched onto soy having phytoestrogen in it. And while there are real contraindications for that for some medications like thyroid medication, for example, largely it's not a thing. And even beer has more phytoestrogen in it than tofu and soy does.
This is the origin of the soy boy insult that drinking soy milk makes you feminine.
Yes.
Everybody, soy estrogen is not human estrogen.
Right. Yeah. And there's more mammalian estrogen in milk and in actual meat and things like that. So yes, it's definitely, people latching on to something to villainize and demonize, and that's just unfortunate. And then, of course, there are people that have honest allergies. Like, I totally get that. But yeah, so it seems like oat milk is definitely at the forefront of non-dairy milk. And then, I feel like coconut and almond are probably kind of tied after that a little bit. But yeah, soy though is like just the best. It's the best. Like,
thank you, Jackie. I feel so seen and validated.
No, it's great.
I miss it.
I know. Cafe 86 over on Jones and Russell, which is like a boba kind of spot. I don't get the milk teas and stuff there because I'm pretty sure none of them are vegan. But I think one of their only non-dairy milks, at least the last time I was there, was just soy. And I was like, oh, it's so nice to have like a soy latte.
Personally, I think it has the nicest texture. I find, especially the early incarnations of oat, to be like a little gooey in the mouth, but it's definitely very thin. Do love the flavor of almond. Love both of coconut, but you have to love coconut. But soy is like delicious, neutral, has a great mouthfeel. Hundreds of thousands of year old in terms of human consumption.
Totally. Yeah. And it's because there's protein in soy milk, whereas oats is starch based. So that's why you have a little bit of added oil to, change the mouthfeel of oat milk generally. And it will separate. I mean, any of the milks will separate for the most part, with the exception of soy milk. Like that one, I actually feel like doesn't separate quite as much. But yeah, the protein in it makes it really great for baking. It makes it really great for anything that you heat up, literally anything. It's a more comparable, build that to like regular milk than, some of the other non-dairy milks. But I do love having oat milk everywhere. I will say I'm not mad at that becoming the hype milk because it makes it much easier for me to order coffee in places.
Yeah. Are there any other spots that aren't totally vegan but have some delicious vegan menu items?
I had legitimately 35 places on this list in just this section. But I did pick a couple that like out of novelty as well as quality that I love. And so Master Kim's Korean barbecue actually has a fully vegan menu if you ask, which is so cool. And it's like fun to partake in that experience of Korean barbecue because that rarely happens. Yeah. So they even have like some vegan beef and vegan chicken and then like a Korean corn cheese side. It's so good. For late night eats, also another one is Stay Tuned Burgers. I'm not sure if you've had them. They're at Hard Hat Lounge.
Oh, God. Oh, yes, of course. Their vegan burger is amazing.
And their tots. The tots are so good. Mm-hmm.
I love the moving towards tots. Shout out to CityCast Portland, home of the tots, essentially. It's a regional delicacy.
I love that.
Yeah, their smash burgers are delicious. And I usually get the vegan ones because I don't eat a lot of beef anymore, Yeah. So I love it. It's a great proportion of gooey cheese to patty to bun. It's great.
Yes. Yeah. And then I'm so sad about the ones I had to cut out, but I really like to get ramen a lot. And I do find that my favorite vegan ramen is at two of the national chains, which would be Jinya and Rockin' Ramen. The spicy creamy vegan ramen at Jinya, so good, really consistent. And then they have the two locations, one open later than the other one. And then Rockin' Ramen is at Town Square.
Love it. Any other, are there some notable pop-ups or vegan specials around town that people don't want to miss?
Yes. So actually, and I did some on the ground research for this last weekend. There is a monthly vegan farmers market at the
no joke.
Yeah, at Arriva Luxury Residences. It's kind of funny how they put it together. It's definitely deep it's almost Southern Highlands, but on Las Vegas Boulevard, kind of. They have all of the vegan pop-ups for the most part that happen in town there once a month. So Herbs Vegan, the Edible Bunch, Yaki Zen, even Simply Pure, because Chef Stacy has a truck now. There's Arroyos, I believe is how you say it. I got tacos from them. They were really good. I really like their jackfruit taco. So it's a lot of the small vegan businesses that are there every month. So if you're I would love to, support the small businesses and try pop-ups that are not, have a brick and mortar somewhere. Yeah. I do know that Lulu's Vegan Kitchen puts it on. And so she always posts on her Instagram when it is happening for that day of the month. It always seems like it's around the middle of the month.
I'm wondering if there's a few other international places that you might know of. Do we have vegan Indian? Do we have vegan Ethiopian? Are there some other ones?
Yes! Oh my God, there's so many. I know. And that was also when I was making this list, I was like, this is so incredible that we have all of this here and that the food scene, even on the really small end of the vegan food scene, is very international. So Mint Indian Bistro, because one thing that I love about a non-vegan place that has vegan options is when things are very clearly stated, because I call it vegan fear factor, where you're just trusting, and sometimes they are not being honest with you. So Mint Indian Bistro, really great Indian food, and they have a few locations.
Oh, and I just found out that they deliver on Uber Eats and Grubhub.
They do. It cost you an arm and a leg, but
yeah, but they have a lunch special that's $20, and it's a lot. It's 3 pounds of food, and it even comes with a couple mini fried things, a tiny samosa.
Oh, I love
it's
that.
Wonderful, and so you can get the whole deal for $25 with delivery fees. I know this is an expensive thing for me to know, but I'm so excited that I can just summon Mint to my house.
Their samosas are good. And then Lucy Ethiopian, which is actually by Jinya, so on Flamingo and Decatur. Really good Ethiopian food. I will say I actually get quicker service when I order delivery than maybe in the restaurant, but it also just depends on the day because it was a busy lunchtime. But they do have some really great vegan options. Chubby Cattle does hot pot. And they have a couple vegan broth options. Really great. I love hot pot. And then, a lot of the stuff at the seasoning bar is just inherently vegan anyway.
Fun communal dining. Like, it's a good time.
Yeah. And then Komal is a Thai restaurant. They have so many good entrees. Their curries are not necessarily my favorite, but they have vegan Thai tea also. And they're a little bit more like whole foods based Thai food.
Okay.
So they do some naturally sweetened things and that kind of thing. And even like Cornish pasty, where I'm like, this is international in a different way because it's still European. But I actually was there on Saturday night, and I love the downtown location because you can play some pool, have some beer.
Tabletop shuffleboard.
Amazing pasty. They got rid of the shuffleboard.
Stop. No.
I devastated. I know. When I showed up, I told my friend about it, and I was like, and I turned around and I said, wait, where's the shuffleboard?
I'm mad. Get a new one. Start a fundraiser.
I know.
Jackie, thank you so much. I have so many things I have to add to my foodie map now, and so many things that I'm going to drag you to try with me.
Yes. Oh, please. Anytime.
That's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. Hey, if you enjoyed this show, tell a friend and take them out to dinner. You can rate our show and leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget, subscribe to our morning newsletter, Hey Las Vegas. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Take care.